Meet Matt. Matt is a business owner who realizes that attending networking events will help him build new relationships and grow his business. But one look online, and he was quickly overwhelmed by the vast amount of events going on around him, each charging a separate entry fee. He had no idea which ones to attend. Matt then found out about Network USA. Network USA offers a ton of opportunities to network for a fixed price of only $30 per month. That's right, Matt now has access to multiple networking groups, monthly events, workshops, meetups, and many other benefits for only $1 a day. Network USA, it's who you know. Meet Matt.
Good afternoon, welcome, Network USA TV. I'm Mike Aharoni.
I'm William Spikowski.
Welcome, we're back.
We're back.
Back in action. New scenery, a little switching up. Right, we're in the subways.
We're in New York, where we started off from.
Where we live, right?
Yeah,
right. We'll go all around the world with this.
It is coming.
It is coming.
It is coming.
It is coming. So let's talk about 2 weeks ago. Let's talk about 2 weeks ago, and our guests. We had Gail Brickman, yes, from Allied Mortgage, and David Warshaw from the Wealth Plan.
Very animated.
Very animated. But he's very knowledgeable.
The last show that we had was very informational because people out there, like we said before, not a lot of people know exactly what to do when it comes to either mortgages or refinancing or whatever it was.
Exactly.
We can't stress it enough. You have to get educated, not only through our show, but through people that your peers, your colleagues, when you go to your networking events or you have your meetings, make sure you get educated on every topic. If you think there are things that you may not know. That's really what it comes down to.
You're very philosophical.
Look
at that. You're on a roll today.
I feel so good today.
Good. Well, first, really before we get even further, I just want to reach out to my fellow Jews and wish them a happy Passover.
Happy Easter.
There you go.
To my people.
to my people. Happy holidays to everybody. And I woke up this morning, my mother's birthday. Happy birthday, Mother. I woke up this morning and I think I saw snow on the ground.
I had blocks of ice.
And yet it was what?
On my windshield
7 degrees on Sunday? This weather is nothing.
To those watching us across the world,
help.
Thank you very much.
Well, they say that the Farmer's Almanac is saying that we're going to have a terrible, terrible summer of heat as well as rain. And I read yesterday also, very interesting. I read yesterday in the Farmer's Almanac that they're actually predicting another hurricane the week of September 13th. Not as bad as Sandy, but another one to really hit the east. But they're 80% correct.
Yeah.
They've been 80% correct since they started in whatever year.
Well, I just opened my pool, so I don't know.
But it's just we can't catch a break. We can't catch a break.
Let's get back. Let's get back. Bad or whatever.
Let's get back to the show. We had Gail. We had David.
Yes.
Awesome. Today's show.
We have another good show.
Another good show.
Know what I love about our show? You never know what industries we have on.
Correct.
And we're always introducing people
to
show that the business of networking or the illustration of connections, they work. They really do work. And
exactly.
You never know who's going to be on our show.
No, well, today, speaking of our show, we have two great individual guys. One's a PI attorney, personal injury.
Brian Goldman.
And one's a chiropractor.
Yes.
Awesome guys. I'm looking forward to getting to know them a little more and to talking. But before we jump into that and before we go to commercial, let's talk about some events that are happening. I know this week is
slow.
It's Passover.
It's slow.
It's Passover. It's Easter. People are away.
Business never stops.
Business never stops. Not at all. Do you know of any events that are coming up next week?
Next week.
Good answer.
Carlisle? Well, I'm trying to think. We have a lot. Isn't there something?
Tomorrow we have the Health Network with Rosanna. At Park City Diner. So that's tomorrow. That's Thursday.
The Health Network is part of the Network USA platform. Those who are new joining us.
Yes.
Yes. Network USA is a platform.
You can check us out on our website.
www.networkusa.biz. B-I-Z.
Exactly. Yes, or you can email us at info. Wait, I brought this over for a purpose.
Info at
Network USA.
.biz.
I love this thing.
Yeah.
This thing is awesome. Yeah, hit us up to let us know. We also, let's just touch upon, we know of about, rumors are spreading, that there are a couple of new TV shows coming to Madhouse TV.
Yes, there is.
You know, we're not going to give a lot away now, but stay tuned. Madhouse TV and Network USA is going to be putting on some shows.
Do you want to put the promo that we opened up with?
Sure, let's talk about the promo. Let's talk about the promo. You saw a promo when we opened up.
We wanted to try something different today. The promo that you saw is basically Network USA in a nutshell. Rights observing, we did build a human LinkedIn, pretty much. That's our platform with events and groups to get you in front of people that you need to meet.
I think that video really sums up everything.
Yeah,
it sums up everything. You see everything there. You can look at the website also again.
Yeah. Check out the events on the event page of our website.
Yes.
And with the addition to the additional shows that Madhouse is doing, we are launching in other places.
Yes.
We are talking, like I said, we are still talking about...
We're expanding. It's about expanding businesses. And speaking of expanding, let's shoot to commercial. When we come back, when we all come back, you know, I'll get into with Russell and Spine Care Club.
Yes.
And I'm looking forward to it. So you ready?
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Let's network.
We'll be back.
Are you planning an event and want to include entertainment, but you're not sure where to turn? Act1Entertainment.net has provided over 1,500 events with quality, affordable live entertainment at private parties, corporate affairs, festivals, bike rallies, and more. Act 1 will fit into your budget. They're friendly, reliable, and do all the legwork for you. They take all major credit cards. Log on to Act1Entertainment.net for a free, no-obligation price quote, or call 631-758-3505 for a brochure. You'll be happy you did.
For professional motorcycle transport and towing, think Kickstart Fabrications Motorcycle Towing. Proudly serving all of Long Island, we feature expert handling and 24/7 service. So send a limo for your toy with Kickstart Fabrications Motorcycle Towing.
Brooklyn's best locksmith and hardware.
We have 3 of the largest showrooms of safes on display and in stock. You can see and touch them in person instead of browsing a catalog. We carry gun and rifle safes, burglary safes, jewelry safes, fire rated from a half hour to 2 hour. Famous name brands.
We sell Gardol.
We sell AMSAC. The new AMSAC touchscreen.
If you're ever in need of a safe, think Brooklyn's best locksmith and hardware. Right, Lockie?
That's right, Alan.
I am Tom Mealy for the Harrison Law Group, and I have been telling you for years that getting involved in an automobile accident is no joke. This is what we do. We're not new at this game. If you've been involved in an accident of any kind, and you go to a law firm that says you have no case, it's simple. It's because they can't do it and they don't get it. You need to call us directly at 1-800-INJURY-LAW.
Welcome back. Welcome back. We're definitely going to get into it now. Let's introduce our first guest.
Yes.
You ready for it?
Let's go.
Russell, welcome. Spine
Thank
Care
you.
Club. How are you?
Very good. How are you?
Thank you for coming by.
Thank you for having me.
I hope you like the studio.
Love it.
I apologize for any trains that you hear off the subway.
It is loud, yeah.
So let's get into it. I'd love to talk to you a little more about what exactly Spine Care Club is, who you are exactly, and we'll take it from there. This sounds good?
Absolutely.
First and foremost, tell our audience, introduce yourself, what your credentials are, and we'll take it from there. Talk about yourself personally.
All right. Absolutely. Well, thank you for having me. My name is Dr. Russell. I'm a practicing chiropractor. I've been doing it for about 17 years. I'm a CEO of Spine Care Club, which is the chiropractic wellness center in Merrick, located in Merrick, New York. We are specializing in personal injury, workers' comp cases, non-surgical spinal decompression, as well as some other latest cutting-edge techniques that we're using on our patients to objectively document their injuries. And we've been doing it for about 17 years, quite successfully.
Great. Well, I thank you. During our segment, your logo with your information will be popping up.
Fantastic.
When we do post it, we will be also posting your information as well.
Excellent.
So if any of our viewers would like to see you or speak to you, they can check our website out, they can check what we're posting, and they can check the logos that we'll be putting up during the show.
Sounds good.
So again, welcome. I appreciate it. Let's get into chiropractic.
Sure.
You know, getting into adjusting, getting into just working the spine. Explain to our viewers and to myself exactly, because I know you hear some things about adjusting your spine is not good, or chiropractors and adjusters, and all this stuff that we hear in the public. Explain to us exactly what it is about adjusting. Is it good? Is it bad? Can you adjust? Explain that, please.
Well, I would hope that I can adjust doing this for 17 years, but well, chiropractic has been around for over 100 years, and it is one of the safest holistic alternative approaches to a healthcare when we are utilizing the inner strength of the body, and we are helping the body to help itself, basically, by removing subluxations. There are different schools of chiropractic, different philosophies, but my personal thoughts are there's a place for everything. There's a place for traditional medicine, such as the regular medical doctors, regular medical treatment, as well as the chiropractic. We are becoming more mainstream, and I think one of the strengths that we bring in to the table is by our ability to integrate what we do in a traditional medical treatment system. So basically, we are removing subluxations from the patient's spine, therefore allowing the spinal, the central nervous system to function and to flow more properly without any obstructions. And by doing it so, helping body heal itself, which happens to be very, very beneficial.
That's great. You know, I'm listening to you speak, and you're very knowledgeable. You know, you're very knowledgeable, and I feel the passion. He has passion. Yes. And I feel the passion that you do. How long have you been in practice again?
17 years.
17 years.
I love what I do.
Good, good. And you, I'm assuming you own your practice.
I own the practice. I'm practicing every day.
Good. I love the name, Spine Care Club.
Thank you.
Explain to our audience, you know, what made you decide to call it Spine Care Club? Does it have a club atmosphere, like a membership atmosphere? Like what stands you apart from your other competitors? Because just the name Spine Care Club, I think, is great.
Well, first of all, thank you. And the whole idea of Spine Care Club was to create a different kind and different feel for a chiropractic office. As you know, there are a lot of chiropractic offices, and in order for us to stand out, and in order for us to differentiate ourselves from other fellow chiropractors, I wanted to come up with a very innovative and creative approach to the chiropractic practice. Spine Care Club, and the name came about around about a year ago, and the reason why is because we consider our patients members of our Spine Care Club. And why members? Because we're not only providing a chiropractic care, we do a lot of other services. And some of the services would be non-surgical spinal decompression, which is the latest and greatest technique for any patient suffering from herniated disc, bulging disc, pre-surgery, post-surgery, failed back surgeries as well. We do physiotherapy. We do neurological study, diagnostic studies, EMG and NCV. We do a lot of different innovative treatments in our office that a lot of times you don't see in your regular practices. So to answer your question, Spine Care Club is for our patients to understand that they're more than just patients. They're members of our family, basically.
And I like that. I like that relationship approach.
Absolutely.
You know, you go to a lot of doctors now, and you're just a patient.
Yeah.
But
you're just a number.
You're just a number.
You're just a number.
Being that relationship, I think that you really hit it, and I think that's what stands you out from everybody.
Absolutely.
That relationship. Speak about your practice, your office. Is it just yourself? Do you have another chiropractor? Do you have staff with you?
Of course, I have a stat with me, but what I like to point out is the fact that most of the services are done by myself. I like to spend time with the patient. I'm more in favor of getting to know my patients, and it usually takes me about half hour to treat a patient on a daily basis whenever they come in, versus somebody coming in and just getting adjusted for 25 seconds. I'd like to spend my time. I'd like to get to know them. I'd like to know that I can help them. And if I can, I will. If I can't, I will send them out somewhere else. But to answer your question, it is important, even though I'm a sole practitioner, it is important to refer patient out to other providers upon necessity. If I feel the patient needs a pain management consultation, I will send them out to a pain management specialist, orthopedic, neurologist. Any of those will be referred out. But most of the hands-on treatment will be done in the office by myself.
That's great.
That initial consultation is so important.
It is. This is where you establish the relationship with the patient. This is whether they're going to like you and trust you and let them take care of you, or they're not going to.
But it's good because you go in and you know you're going to see him.
Yeah.
That's the point. You know you're going to see yourself,
Absolutely.
you know.
That's a good practice.
And that's great. Let's talk about practice and who you're looking for and how somebody can reach you. I do know, like I said, we are going to throw up your phone number and your logo during the program. But if you can let our audience know how to directly get in contact with you verbally as well, that would be great.
Absolutely. Well, a few ways to get in touch with us. Number one is definitely our website, spinecareclub.com, www.spinecareclub.com. Number two, we're located at 2071 Merrick Road in Merrick, New York, 11566. And the easiest way to get in touch with us is by calling us at 516-868-7746. So those would be the ways to get in touch with us. But if I can add a little bit to it, there are certain areas of specialty that we have, and that's a specialized knowledge that we have that I'd like to share with our audience. We concentrate on some of the areas that we have a lot of expertise in. Number one is certainly non-surgical spinal decompression. Like I already mentioned, it's the non-invasive treatment protocol for patients chronically suffering from back and neck pain. Number two, we're specializing for many years. We are being involved in treatment and bringing a lot of benefits to personal injury patients. It's someone who's been injured in a car accident, workers' comp patients, somebody who's been injured at job. And the last but not least is a very specialized treatment that we do called the manipulation under anesthesia. It's performed on the patient when the patient is being slightly sedated, and it's done in the surgical office. But it's one of those rare but very extremely beneficial treatments that we offer.
Do you do any? I love listening to you. I do. It's so.
He's got to do a workshop or something.
That's what I just was going to say. Do you speak? Like, do you hold workshops?
I do workshops, yes, absolutely. I do workshops in my office every other Saturday, and we pick and choose different topics, different health concerns that we can talk about. And it's done on every other Saturday. You can call us and sign up for it, just like I said, 516-866-7746.
That's great. You know, we would love to hopefully host a workshop.
Absolutely, you guys are more than welcome.
I think just listening to you, it's great. You know, it's definitely great. So in addition to your marketing that you technically do, I do know on the show today, which we'll be introducing a little later on, we have a personal injury attorney. I think a personal injury attorney is great for you. Besides a personal injury attorney, who else do you want to meet? Who else can possibly refer you business, or what is your sphere of influences that you really want to reach?
It's a great question. Great question. Believe it or not, 80% of our business is customer driven. So as much as we like to establish the network and relationship with other providers, and I grow my practice by working with other medical doctors, orthopedists, neurologists, PMNRs, as well as the personal injury attorney, workers' comp attorney. But a lot of our business coming by the way of our patients referring their friends and family. Once they get to like us, once they get to see the benefits of the chiropractic care and what we have to offer, they start sending their relatives to us as well and friends.
Yeah, it's definitely a referral-based business.
It is a referral-based.
Without question. But I hope today, the personal injury attorney that we have on, you guys can definitely hook up and help each other out, because I think that's going to be definitely beneficial. Before we run into commercial, one last thing that I really want to touch upon with you, and I know a lot of people have asked us questions beforehand, before you came on. Let's take for myself or Bill, for example, when is the right time, going back to adjustment, when is the right time to get adjusted? Should everybody get adjusted? Explain that. There's so many questions that have to do with that particular thing in regards to adjustment. What's good in your mind?
Great question again. Well, there is a mystery, and it's been around forever. Who should get adjusted? When do I get adjusted? Do I even get adjusted? The main point to understand for everybody is you need to come in before you're in pain. When you come in pain, we're being reactive to the problem. We're being reactive to your symptomatology, which pain happens to be a symptom, okay? But when you come in before you're in pain, to make sure that your spine is aligned, there is no subluxation, and if there are subluxation, we're going to relieve those subluxations so your nervous system can function properly, allowing your body to heal itself to maintain this optimal stage. So to answer that question, you might want to come in, you should come in before, and once, just like you see a dentist, every 30, 90, 120 days you come in for a dental cleaning. If you want to make sure that you're going to stay healthy and your dental health is going to be in perfect shape. The same thing with us. You want to come in, you want to get checked before a problem arises. I have tons of questions. A lot of patients coming in once a week, once every other week, once a month, just to make sure they're on a maintenance, on the way to their perfect health.
That's great. And to talk about coming in, and I know chiropractic, regarding the whole health insurance issue, do you take health insurance? Is it a fee? How can someone, let's say, come to you and if they ask you, what is your fee? What is that?
Well, we have a very affordable fee-for-service structure, basically. We participate with insurances, but only out of network. We're not in network with many of the insurances, and it allows the patient more freedom, and it also allows them to save a lot of money on their copays, on their premiums and such. Our fee structure basically based on the fact that we are priced similarly to your copay. So as you can see, there is no negativity with that. It just basically, it's in a lot of cases, your payment would be a lot less than your copay. But to emphasize, the payment structure is only equal to the value of the service that you're getting, and you would get a tremendous value by coming in and see us.
Great. He's motivating me to go in. What about you? Before we go to commercial, if you'd like to say anything else to our audience, any last words in a good way to our audience, and then we'll shoot to commercial.
Absolutely. Well, I just like I said, Spine Care Club, we open, if I may, we open Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. We do a lot of innovative treatments. We work with a lot of different other specialties doctors. We are more than sure that we're going to be able to help you. And if we're not going to be able to help you, we're going to send you out to other specialties. But everybody's welcome, and appreciating having me.
Listen, I thank you. You are very, very informative today.
Thank you.
Very informative. A lot of what you said is resonating in my mind, and it's something definitely that we should go out and really teach people.
Absolutely.
And I love the fact that you do your workshops.
Education
part.
part.
But what I love exactly what you do and how you differ from your competitor. And this is what we really focus on is relationship.
Awesome.
You're not just a chiropractor.
No.
You're someone that they can confide in. You're someone they can go in and they know you're going to see them. You know you're not going to go in and teach them. And you're not going to go in for 5 minutes, hi, how are you, great, and leave.
No.
You're actually there, and that's what I love.
Again, no matter what whoever we have on our show, it all comes down to that educational part
And the relationship.
and the relationship part.
Exactly.
People should feel comfortable going into your office,
and that's what we're trying to accomplish.
And they do.
Exactly.
And they do.
Absolutely.
We're going to shoot the commercial. We're going to come back with our personal injury attorney. I
Great.
hope you can stay.
Absolutely.
We'd love to meet both of you up on the
Sure.
show, and we'll take it from there. Again,
Good.
Russell, Spine Care Club, Dr. Russell, thank you very much.
Thank you.
And we'll be back with Brian Goldman. We'll be back.
Hi, my name is Dr. Tom Dow. We have a multidiscipline practice in Melville and Ronkonkoma, New York, and we treat patients with many, many different conditions, from newborns through geriatric patients with numerous different techniques. There's a technique and a type of treatment for every class of patient. We have them all here. Here's my son Thomas, also a doctor of chiropractic, working on one of our patients' cervical spine. This patient has had chronic neck pain for many, many, many years, has been to a multitude of different practitioners with little or no response. And with our specialized techniques, she has improved tremendously and continues to improve on a daily basis. We have two practices, one in Melville and one in Ronkonkoma, New York. We are a multidiscipline chiropractic office. What that means is we have chiropractors, massage therapists, acupuncturists, psychologists, all working as a team and a network of outside professionals such as orthopedists and neurologists that we work hand in hand with to help determine what your injuries are and the best way to treat your injuries. I have the great pleasure of having my son in practice with me. We work hand in hand, father and son, to give our patients the best care possible, and a staff which is loving, caring, and you'll never have to wait at all in our office for service. Many times patients come into our office and they have what's called a soft tissue injury. Soft tissue injuries are like scars inside your body. If you've ever been cut on the outside of your body, you get a scar. The same thing happens inside of your body to your muscles and ligaments. So our job is to determine where those are, stretch the muscles, adjust the vertebra back into their correct position, and then refortify the normal structure with exercise. That's what we do best, and I hope someday you'll come see us at one of our two offices. Thank you.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
That was great. That was great. Dr. Russell from Spine Care Club, very informative. Very informative. I don't even know what to say. It was mind-blowing.
I'm ready to sign up.
Right? It was great. But without further ado, I'm excited again for another guest. Please,
let's jump
him.
into it. Welcome, Brian Goldman of Goldman and More. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. It sounds like a great show. I think it's a wonderful show. You're right. The information that we got from Dr. Russell was wonderful. Yeah. All my clients could definitely use that. I'm telling you, it's very, very informative.
Again, we are very big on the educational part of things to educate people on the different industries, different aspects of medicine, law, and so on. Let's get into you.
Okay.
So how long have you been practicing? Well, before you're here for a few things, but before we get to the personal injury side of things, let's get into how long you've been in practice. Okay. Let's get into where you are, and then let's get into the real estate. And then I know you do a lot of work with special education.
That's correct.
So let's get into that. But let's start off with how long you've been in practice for, and where you're located, and start like that.
Excellent. Well, first of all, thank you very much for having me. I'm practicing 28 years. I'm licensed in both California and New York. We have a very small firm, but we're really a hands-on approach. My partner does family law and divorce. As you mentioned, I do personal injury, real estate, and special education law.
Yeah, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, and that's the three basic areas of law that I practice. We're in Great Neck on Northern Boulevard, 475 Northern Boulevard in Great Neck. And we've been there for about 7 years now.
Okay, very good. Let's start with the real estate. Let's get into a little more detail about what you do within the real estate aspect of things, and start from there.
It'll be my pleasure. Right now, the real estate market is starting to come back. I represent both buyers and sellers. not in the same deal, but buyers and sellers, who are looking to, for the sellers, people looking to sell their home, their co-op, their condominium. And what I do with all areas of the law that I practice is I really do a hands-on approach. And I do soup to nuts. What I'm going to do is, if you're selling your house, I'll bring you into my office, we'll discuss the house, we'll discuss what alterations you've made to your house. Do you have all the necessary variance, permits, things of that nature? I'll tell you where to go if you need to list your house with a real estate broker. And then when you find a buyer, I'll prepare the contract. Very hands-on. I do all the work myself.
Yeah.
I have secretaries in the office that type certain things, but I negotiate the contracts and make sure that we dot the I's and cross the T's.
Well, that was one thing that you stressed on, that you read through everything, that you make sure that everything is set into place and ready to go.
You know, there are many attorneys that use paralegals and law clerks to read through contracts, whether you're representing the buyer or the seller. I pride myself in going through the contracts line by line. Most attorneys, we're all using a form contract, but you can change a form contract. And we also annex a rider to the contract where we put certain things in. And my job is to make sure you are protected. Make sure you're selling what you own, and make sure you're buying what the seller is selling to you. So you have to be very, very careful, because in life as in law, you've got to really be very due diligent.
Well, that brings in the educational part of things. Again, it's more better for you to sit there and educate someone and tell them exactly what's going on. Again, selling exactly what they have. So it is very important to sit down with them and let them know the back end of things, so they know what's going in the contract, what's going in, what you're delegating, and so on.
Well, buying or selling a house is a very, very traumatic experience.
Yeah.
And many first-time home buyers really don't know what they're getting themselves in for. And what I'll do for them is when they come to my office and they'll say, I'm looking to buy a house, I'll ask them, do you have a real estate broker? If they don't have one, I can refer them to someone. Do you have a mortgage? What can you afford? Many people don't know there's so many different programs out there for mortgages. I have mortgage brokers that I work with. I can send it to someone there. Again, education, as you said, is very, very important, because it's a very, very large purchase.
Yeah.
Perhaps the largest purchase of your life.
Yeah, especially for the new homeowners.
Absolutely.
They just get thrown into buying a house, and this is the time for us to buy a house. But when you go in there blindfolded, it's a little hard.
And it's a scary proposition.
It is.
So I try to take all the mystery out of it and really just bring it down to the basics. What do you need to know? And kind of shepherd you through the process.
Okay.
That's what I like to do in all the areas of law.
I like the fact that you said that you read through everything, because we don't really know if someone does really read through everything, and I like the fact that you actually do. You take the due diligence and you read through everything, even though it's informed or whatever the case. You take the time to read it. As we did before,
that stack of papers is like this.
It's great. You probably don't sleep at night.
I try to get a little sleep.
Your logo is going to be coming up, as I said, really quick. If you can just let our audience know how to reach you, your phone number, and where you're located, please,
Sure.
to the camera.
Thank you. Well, our website is www.goldmanmaurer.com, GoldmanMaurer.com. Our offices are Northern Boulevard in Great Neck, just a few blocks west of Lakeville Road. Our phone number is 516-773-8585. Those are the best ways to reach us.
Great. I thank you again. I want to get into the special needs,
Yeah.
which you said, because that's very interesting. And I know that we're actually bringing you tomorrow to the Viscardi School. We work very, very hand in hand with the Viscardi School. Shout out to them tomorrow. So if you can briefly really go in depth and explain what is the special needs, what do you do with special needs lawyers, special education, what is it, and how can someone use you?
I got into special education about 7 years ago, and what I found is that there are a lot of children, a lot of students out there who are underrepresented. And what I do is I represent children who have special needs. Now, what are those? Children who are speech and language impaired, children who are autistic, children who are other health impaired, orthopedic injuries that they can't walk through a building, so they need a building with an elevator. And I find that predominantly children out there are not being represented. Once you are classified as a special education student, there's a federal statute that runs the program, if you will. And that program it classifies you as to what your disability is, and what I do is I ensure that you get the services that you need. For example, If you are speech and language impaired, that's a classification. What that means is you don't hear well, and you can't speak well. And when you read things, you can't decode them. You can't break it down so you understand what's going on. And what I'll do is I'll make sure you get to the speech and language therapist, who will then train you, teach you how to deal with those issues. Predominantly, these students are put in classes, and they're several years behind in the educational process. So they'll come to me and they'll say to me, my son here, Johnny, he's not doing well in school. What can you do for me? What I will do is make sure they get the proper evaluations, use those evaluations, and bring them to the school district's attention. And if the school district cannot properly educate the child, we will bring on an impartial hearing and get the school district, force them to pay for a private school for this student.
That's actually
that's awesome.
Yeah, it is.
It's the most rewarding thing I've ever done. I've had children who are unable to speak. They have verbal apraxia. It's a disorder. And after 6 months of therapy, they come into my office and they talk to me. They're not talking, long, full sentences, but I'm having a conversation. There's nothing more rewarding in the world to help a student, to help them achieve what's in their possibilities.
Yes, and then dealing with their families as well is also very rewarding. I know when Mike and I went to the Viscardi School, I actually have a brother that was born with spina bifida. But when we went to Viscardi School and we were in the classrooms, being with the kids and the young adults, it was amazing.
It's really, like I said, it is perhaps the most rewarding thing I've ever done. When I went to law school 1,000 years ago, that's what I thought about.
1,000?
Well,
wow.
That's what I thought about being what a lawyer was. A lawyer is going to bring about change, and I'm changing these kids' lives. So it's just exceptionally rewarding.
I think it's great, and I speak for Bill as well. We are very excited to bring you on tomorrow. I do know the kids are off of vacation, but this is the first of many times I'm assuming you'll be there. And I'm looking forward to it. Going to the personal injury.
Let's get into the personal injury now, because we can mesh. We can build the relationship now, and we can get onto that and after the commercial. But let's get into the personal injury part of things and talk a little bit about that.
Love to. Like I said, I'm practicing personal injury and other areas of law, but for 28 years I've been doing personal injury. And the personal injury field has changed a great deal. As you heard from Dr. Russell, there are a variety of doctors out there. There are a variety of practitioners. There are a variety of areas of medicine. Now, when a client comes to me, they don't come into my office and say, I hurt my spine, I hurt my leg. They just say, I'm hurting. Help me. I was involved in an accident. So I use the term shepherding. That's my mantra. I like to take control. I like to educate the client when they come into my office. I sit down with them and I tell them, this is what the law is in the state of New York. There's no-fault law. And you have to meet certain requirements of the no-fault law to have a good case. I also talk to them about how the accident happened and what difficulties we're going to have in proving the accident. But then I start working on getting them to the proper medical practitioners. You can go to a doctor, and a doctor can treat you very, very well, but write a very poor report. That report makes your case. It's the backbone of your case. So I ensure that they get to the right person who not only can give them the proper treatment, but can put it down in paper. Because you know what? If it's not in the report, it doesn't exist. And look, we all listen to the radio, watch TV, and there are thousands and thousands of attorneys out there, all telling you how great they're going to be and they're going to get you the best possible results, and they've gotten billion-dollar results. The bottom line is you need someone like me, who's going to take your case, take it very seriously, and walk you through it, and make sure you get the proper results. We don't guarantee any results, and we don't make promises that we can't keep. But what we can promise you is we're going to work diligently for you and get the best possible results that we can.
Unfortunately, when a case does happen, people don't realize that if something does go wrong or something hurts, it could be just a chain reaction of multiple things. So they don't really think about all of that. So that stuff they also need to be educated on, which is you sit down and you discuss that for the long-term solution.
It's funny. I've read over the 28 years probably thousands of medical reports, and I'm kind of like a quasi-doctor now because I know the lingo. And I find with my clients that they go to see a doctor, and maybe 1% of the time does a doctor sit down with them and explain to them what the treatment is, what their injuries are, and what they can expect. After listening to Dr. Russell, I can pretty much tell you that he's the kind of doctor that I'm looking for, because education is just so important, and it's an unknown. You come into my office, you're hurting. You're not sure where it's hurting the most, and why is it hurting in my knee and then it's hurting in my lower back? Is there a connection? I need someone. Please help me find someone who can figure this all out for me. And that's what we do.
And I want to make something very clear also to our audience. Is the fact that someone like yourself, someone like a personal injury, it's not just getting into a car accident. You can trip and fall on a sidewalk. You can trip and fall down the stairs. It's not just a car accident. That's what people have to really understand.
People get lost.
No matter how you're getting hurt or how you got hurt, they need someone like you.
Yeah, there are very many areas within the accident, personal injury area. You're absolutely correct, and I'm glad you pointed out. There's a car accident. There's a trip and fall accident, a slip and fall accident. Trip and fall, slip and fall, they sound the same. The different burdens.
Potato.
Exactly.
It's the same thing.
if you're involved in an accident on the job,
right.
You're walking up a ladder and you fall. It's a labor law case. We handle that as well.
Let me just jump in really quickly when you just said labor law. People think, oh, they tripped and fall at the job, workers' comp. Is that do we need to go through workers' comp? Is it personal injury? How is that?
Well, it's a very, very good question. There are workers' compensation deals with an injury that you have in the course of your employment. Okay? So if you fall on a job, if you're in construction, for example, and you fall on the job, your sole remedy is going to be workers' compensation. However, let's assume that a company delivered some 2x4s to your job site, and they put them in an improper place. And as a result of that being placed improperly, you trip and fall over it. Well, then you have two actions. You have a workers' compensation action against your employer, and you also have what's called the third-party action against the delivery person, if you will, for negligently putting the wood there.
Now, I would guess that a good percentage of people do not know that.
Right.
Most people don't know that at all.
So I would assume just come to a personal injury attorney, come to Brian Goldman Mora, and say, listen, is this a workers' comp? Is this a personal injury? Help me.
Again, no one walks in my office and says, I have a workers' compensation case.
Correct.
They come in and say, I had an accident. And it's for me to decide and figure out, based upon what the facts are, exactly what kind of a case you have, and whether or not you have a meritorious case.
Yes.
Not all cases, not everyone who has been injured has a viable personal injury case.
Right. Before we shoot the commercial, two things. One, just again, tell our audience how to contact you, please.
Sure.
And secondly, after you do that, I just want to go through the steps of, let's use a car accident, for example. Okay. Someone gets into a car accident, you have to call the insurance company and exchange. We know that. Okay. From that point forward, what happens? Do you get a police report? Do you call your lawyer right away? Do you have to call your lawyer no matter what type of accident it is? Because that's where people also don't understand is, where does a personal injury attorney come into the picture? Where does that? Because people know, okay, I got into a car accident, get a police report, call the insurance, now what? And I'd like you to do that. So again, please just let people know how to contact you. Once again, your logo will come up, and then go into my last thing, please.
Sure, thank you. Again, my name is Brian Goldman. I'm a partner at Goldman & Mora. We're at 475 Northern Boulevard in Great Neck. You can reach me the best way would be by phone at 516-773-8585. Michael, it's probably the perfect question you could ask. What do you do when you have an accident? Many people don't know what to do, and they do the wrong thing. So let's take it step by step. You get into a car accident. First thing you do is get medical treatment. So if they say, do you need to go to a doctor? You go to a doctor, get yourself checked out. The second call that you place should be to an attorney. Now that sounds a little weird. Why would I call my attorney rather than call my insurance company? The reason is this. Insurance companies love to accept your premiums. They hate to make payouts. They hate to pay you. You can say something to an insurance agent over the phone, and many times these conversations are recorded, which you don't want to do, and you'll say the wrong thing. So call me. Let me make that call for you. Let me contact the Geicos, the Allstates, the State Farms. Let me place the claim in the claim status. They'll give me a claim number. Then we'll go from there. And what do you have to do after that? Well, you start treating with a doctor. Okay? You have insurance. You have many different things in your insurance policies, and one of them is no-fault coverage. And no-fault provides that they will pay for all your medical care up to whatever the limit is in your policy. And they'll pay for your prescription medication. If you need a cane, a crutch, a brace, they'll pay for all of that. You shouldn't really have to incur any out-of-pocket expenses. And no matter what doctor or doctors you go to, You can go to the best orthopedic surgeon in the world who may charge $150,000 for an evaluation. If he accepts no fault, and no fault pays their rate of $12.39, that's what he pays. He's get paid. He doesn't get a penny more from you, and he will treat you because he takes no fault payments. Once you start treating with a doctor or doctors, the doctors are going to give me the reports. As I mentioned before, Dr. Russell, he's going to get me those reports, and I'm going to use those reports. I'm going to send them to the insurance company, and then I'm going to say to the insurance company, okay, this is how the accident happened. Your client, the other driver, was responsible. Look at the extent of the injuries. Pay us the reasonable rate for this injury.
It's interesting. You're building the relationship from the call on, and that's what's great about it.
Yeah.
We're going to shoot a commercial. When we come back, I want to get you in touch with Dr. Russell live today and see how we can work together and talk a little bit about networking.
This should be a good panel.
Okay, I think this is going to be a great panel.
This is going to be a good panel.
I hope you can stay. Again,
Absolutely.
I thank you for coming on board.
Thank you for having me.
We'll be back.
My name is Dr. Robert Brevard. I'm here for Multi-Medicine in Westbury, New York. We're located at 1065 Old Country Road, Suite 214. Been here for about 15 years. The practice has medical doctors, physical therapists, chiropractors, acupuncturists. We also do pain management, and we have orthopedists on staff. Here at Advanced Multi-Medicine Rehabilitation, we've got physical therapists on staff who treat an array of conditions, from neck pain to back pain, shoulder pain. We treat carpal tunnel. We treat a lot of car accident patients, slip and falls. We treat patients with knee injuries, with ankle injuries. We have state-of-the-art equipment. We've been here for over 15 years. A vast array of diagnostic testing, from x-rays to EMGs. What is an EMG? It's a diagnostic test that allows a doctor to determine where the pinched nerve is. Cora is a physical therapist at Advanced Multi-Medicine and Rehabilitation. She's working on Stephanie, who was involved recently in an automobile accident. Stephanie has tight thoracic and cervical musculature, and Cora is doing some myofascial release work and some therapeutic stretching, doing it to help her with her pain. Vicky is also a patient here at Advanced Multi-Medicine and Rehabilitation. Vicky is now working her leg muscles, specifically her quadricep muscles, trying to strengthen them after an injury she sustained. If you find yourself in need of any type of physical therapy, please don't hesitate to call Advanced Multi-Medicine and Rehabilitation, located in Westbury, New York, in Suite 214. Phone number is 516-334-7000, or find us on our website at advancedmultimedicine.com.
Welcome back to Network USA TV.
Great discussion,
Great
Brian.
discussion.
Brian, thank you again. Very, very, very informative.
On all levels.
On
between
all
the,
levels.
the real estate, the special ed,
needs.
and the and the personal injury.
Very good.
Thank you so much for
Welcome
having
back, Dr. Russell. You missed us?
Miss you a lot.
So I want to jump right into it. I know we have about 10 minutes left, and I really want this to happen. Both of you have not met each other before today. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
That's correct.
Okay. So what I wanted to do, and like what we always do, is we want to bring on two people that are different industries but the same synergy. And I want to introduce you both live today on TV. I know you spoke before the show today briefly in our green room, but I think you being a chiropractor and being so informative and building that relationship, and you being your personal injury attorney, building that relationship, I think the synergy is easy.
Perfect.
Agreed?
Absolutely.
Agreed?
Absolutely.
So talk to each other and figure out how can we put a personal injury and a chiropractor together? How does that work?
Well, you know, the thing that we were talking about is teamwork. And it really is a team effort. Because unless I get my client to the right doctor who can properly treat the client and properly give us the report that we need,
Absolutely.
I can't make my case.
On the same token, if it's like marriage. It's a partnership where two sides are equal. I can be the greatest doctor, but if there's no report and if Brian's ability to settle the case or to go and fight for his client and to get what he deserves is not there, that client is going to suffer. But in case of Brian Goldman, I can guarantee you he's going to do a fantastic job. He sounds like a very knowledgeable, ethical, knowledgeable, honest attorney, which is a strange combination, but nevertheless, fantastic. And I'm looking forward many of the cases that we're going to share together. And
Good,
I can't wait to send my patients to
Yeah,
Brian.
I've known Brian a little longer than we've known each other, and he's a great guy. And I know you didn't pay me for this, but you're a great guy.
I appreciate
you
that.
really are. And people need that lawyer, regardless of what you practice. Okay, regardless of what you practice, you need that lawyer, and it goes for a chiropractor or any doctor to begin with. Also,
Absolutely.
You need that person to build a relationship. You need that person to not only be in it for themselves. You need to help each other.
Build that foundation.
Build a foundation.
Build that foundation.
People come to you, they got hurt, they need a chiropractor. Boom. People come to you, they got hurt, they need a lawyer. Boom. It works both ways. It's that building the relationship.
You're right. The marriage aspect. That's a good way of putting it. To build that marital foundation against whoever you're going to do business with.
Have both of you, either one of you, have you networked out there? Have you been to networking events out there? Do you network? How do you market each other? How do you market yourself besides, for example, not getting into lawyers or you not getting into chiropractors? How else do you network?
Well, it's a great question, actually. How do you make yourself stand out from the sea of other attorneys?
Exactly.
Or how do you make yourself to stand out from the sea of other chiropractors and other medical doctors? And I think what makes us different, and I have the same feeling towards the Brian Goldman, what makes him different is that a true honesty and that ability to care, I think. Once you get to know, once patients see that, once your clients see that in you, not only are they going to stick with you until the end of the case, but they're also going to send you other, the family members. They're going to send you their friends, their relatives. And this is how we grow. Now, as far as how do we attract the business, how do we make us stand out, it's places like this. It's network like yours, Network USA. So we want to thank you again for having us and being that part. You guys do such a phenomenal job at bringing us together, business community together, so we could create new ways of marketing. And I think it's very innovative. I think it's very very important, and I want to thank you for it.
Thank you, Dr.
And what do you?
It's really interesting because as we spoke about before, there are a lot of attorneys out there, and there are a lot of chiropractors out there, and there are even a lot of networking groups.
Agreed.
What sets you apart? And it's what Dr. Russell was talking about before, and it's the personal touch. It really is, because right now 95% of my practice is word of mouth, former clients, and there's nothing better than to have a client refer you. It shows that they care about the work, they trust you, they like what you did, and when you make a recommendation, it's important because you're attesting to your friend or a colleague, hey, I've got the right doctor, I've got the right chiropractor. And those kinds of clients, when they come to me, I give them 110%. And the reason I do that is because I want to make sure not only that I do the right thing for them, but that they can report back to their friend, hey, Brian did such a great job for me. So it's that personal touch. And you know, I can't compete with 1,000 attorney firm, but I don't really want to. I want someone to come to my office and sit down with me and talk to me, and when they call, they know they're going to get me on the phone. They're not going to get a paralegal who knows nothing about their file. So that's the personal touch, and to me, that's the most important thing.
And that's where the world's turning into now. It's that human-to-human interaction. It's that building the relationship. You know, you can spend thousands and thousands of dollars. You know, you mentioned these big law firms. You know, you can spend thousands of dollars in marketing.
Absolutely.
Okay, but if someone really wants a true relationship or that interaction, that one-on-one, that's where you guys come in.
Absolutely.
You know, before we wrap it up, we have about a minute left. I want to individually, please, to our audience, say anything else that you need to say,
And also
or
give you
any ideas.
give your information where they can contact
Yeah,
you
we'll
again.
throw up your logo again. But your final saying, your final words, if you can, please, Dr. Russell.
I can only speak for myself and the services that I offer. I work with the personal injury, no-fault patients, and along with Brian Goldman. I can tell you this. It is very important to know what it is that you need to do. As a patient, know your rights, know your responsibilities. When you're in doubt, call your attorney, call your doctor, but make sure you get in touch with somebody that can help you, and we'll be more than happy to do that. Once again, Spine Care Club, 2071 Merrick Avenue, Merrick, New York, 11566, and the phone number is 516-868-7746.
Well, again, thank you very much, Dr.
Great.
Russell.
Thank you for
Spine
having
Care
me.
Club. Very, very informative. And listen, we're going to do a lot together.
Thank you. I appreciate
I can
it.
definitely see it. We're going to do a lot together. So again,
Thank you.
Thank you. Brian, same thing with you, please.
Well, again, thank you very much for having me. My name is Brian Goldman. My firm is Goldman & Moore. We're at 475 Northern Boulevard in Great Neck. I can be reached at 516-773-8585. If there's anything I want you to take away from my talking with you today is that you're going to call me, I'm going to treat you right. I'm going to take you step by step through whatever area of law it is, whether it's personal injury, real estate, or special education. But most particularly with respect to personal injury, you need someone who can educate you on what you need to know to get you to the right doctor and get you the best possible results. So give us a call.
Again, I thank you. Very informative. I hope you enjoyed today.
It was a blast.
It was a good show.
And I thank you. Bill,
Mike.
would you like to say anything before I wrap it up?
No, another good show. Again, get educated. You know, we can't stress that enough about education. Again, another good show about two industries that not only are great at their practices, but reach out to their customers and sit them down and educate them as much as possible so they make the right decisions, no matter what it is, in real estate, your spine, getting healthy, whatever it is. You know, people need to be educated that, you know, it's like going back to basics, that human-to-human contact.
Exactly. Exactly.
You know, don't be, you know, it's foolish not to ask questions anymore. Ask questions. Ask questions.
And I'll wrap it up with this. You know, it's about educating yourself. You know, you can't know everything. You don't want to go out there and sell yourself. Okay? It's about getting out there, building a relationship, and learning. You know, the world is so big that we can just continuously learn. You can't know everything. You know, you have the CE credits. It's always changing in the chiropractic world. You know, you want somebody that knows their craft. You want somebody that has the passion for their industry.
And who will be there for the long run.
And who will be there for the long
Yeah.
run. You know, we're going to wrap it up. 30 seconds. Again, gentlemen, thank you very
again.
much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
You know, it's going to be great. It's going to be great, and I hope you guys can work together. Bill, as always,
good show.
Thank you, Dr.
Thank you.
Russell.
Pleasure.
Thank you, Brian.
Brian,
Thank you
again.
very much.
Thank you.
We'll see you next time. Network USA TV.